Hi guys, here's E. I made these cinnamon buns last week for my husband's birthday. He's a huge fan of cinnamon, which reminds him of Christmas, he said. These are not your ordinary cinnamon buns. They are covered with pecan nut syrup and with a hint of fragrance from cardamom seeds powder. Take 400 grams of wheat flour. You can use type 550 or 1050. Dig a small well in the middle, then add a pack of dry yeast or 21 grams of fresh ones, about a half cube. 2 tablespoons of cast sugar in the same well and pour in half amount of our lukewarm milk, 130 ml. Mix them roughly until the fluid is completely absorbed. Cover it with a lid and rest it in a warm place for about 15 minutes. Meanwhile, melt 50 grams of butter and the rest half of our milk on low heat. Once the butter is dissolved, add a quarter teaspoon of salt and half teaspoon of vanilla extract. After the mixture is cooled slightly, crack 2 whole eggs into the same pot. Beat the eggs until smooth with a mixer. Pour it into the flour mixture and knead it with a kneading hook until the dough is incorporated and loosened from the mixing bowl for about 5 minutes. Cover it with a lid and let it rest for at least an hour until it's double in size. For the topping, crush 100 grams of pecan nuts and put them all into a paper bag here and break them with a thick ramekin. Melt 70 grams of butter into a small milk pot. Pour in 150 grams of brown sugar and 60 grams of golden syrup, or any syrup of your choice. Warm them up on low heat until it turns fluid. Drop our crushed pecan nuts and coat them with our sugar syrup evenly. For the cinnamon filling, take another 60 grams of brown sugar, half teaspoon of cinnamon powder, and half teaspoon of cardamom powder. Mix them well until combined. To roll our cinnamon buns, dust a layer of loose flour on the working surface. Roll the dough with a dusted roller to a roughly 25 cm x 36 cm rectangular shape. We can straighten up the edges with our hands, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Spread 60 grams of softened butter on the dough evenly. The butter layer can be quite thick. Then sprinkle our sugar and spices all over the dough. Roll the longer side of the dough up gently to a cylinder shape. Divide the dough into 12 equal parts, about 3 cm thick each, with a dough cutter. Grease a 26 cm diameter baking tin with some butter. Lay our cinnamon buns next to each other with the cutting side facing up. Don't worry about the space around the edges. Cover the baking tin with a lid and let it rest for a good 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we can see our buns have grown quite a bit. Heat up our oven to 180 degrees Celsius and bake them on the middle rack for another 30 minutes until the buns are slightly colored. Cover them with a piece of foil for another 2 to 3 minutes to cool. Then release them from the baking tin gently and use a spoon or just our hands to lay the pecan sugar on top. These pecan cinnamon buns were a huge hit at my husband's office on his birthday. Enjoy! Did you subscribe yet? If not, click here, click here, click here. Every day watch new videos at 6 p.m. Here are my 2 recommended videos. Thanks for watching. See ya! 谢谢大家。